Hey there. So I'm going to make a video about a couple different phrases we have learned in Spanish 1, when to conjugate certain verbs and what the meanings of them mean. So we're going to take a verb that we know how to use in a couple different formats, and we will use the verb escuchar. This means to listen. Escuchar. Again, I could listen to music, I could listen to a movie, I could listen to somebody talk on the phone, I could listen to the birds outside, I could listen to a lot of different things. I could like to listen to music. For whatever reason, I could have to listen to music, or I could simply listen to music. So we have been studying 3 different verbs and their relative conjugations. So I'm going to list them out here and we'll talk through each one. The first thing that we learned how to say was, I like to listen. Okay, so we have learned how to say, I like to listen to something. Maybe I like to listen to music. When we talk about things that we like, we use the verb gustar, and then we pair it with a particular pronoun, if you will, to reflect back on who is essentially being pleased or who is liking the certain action or object. So if I want to say that I like to listen to music, I simply say me gusta, or a mí me gusta escuchar. And then maybe I include whatever I like to listen to. But I have me gusta escuchar. This is one sentence here. I'm doing this in a chart so you can see the difference between all 3. So I like to listen to music, or I like to listen. We have me gusta escuchar. You can see here that I have not changed this verb whatsoever. It simply remains as I like to listen. Me gusta, meaning it is pleasing to me, or I like to listen. To listen is pleasing to me. So I don't change this verb at all. I simply use me gusta. Another phrase that we have learned how to say is I have to listen. Maybe I have to listen to music for a certain assignment, or I have to listen to the teacher in class, or I have to listen to my parents, whatever. So this next phrase is I have to listen. I have to listen. And whenever we describe something that we have to do in Spanish, we use the verb tener paired with the word que, as well as the verb as what we have to do. So if I myself have to listen to something, I'm going to conjugate the verb tener to reflect that I have to do something, and then I'm going to include what I have to do, which in this case is to listen. So it will look like this. Yo, that's I. Tengo, which means I have. To, which I know comes in when I include that word que. Listen. Yo tengo que escuchar. So I have, yo tengo, to, yo tengo que, something that I have to do, escuchar. Again, you will notice here I have not changed this word at all. I have not changed escuchar. I did not change it here either. So with both I like to do something and I have to do something, the verb that we like to do or that we have to do does not change. What changes is who is liking something or who is having to do something. So again, escuchar with tener does not change. Escuchar with gustar does not change. The only time that we know how to do so far is when we will change this verb is when we're talking about simply I listen. Not liking to listen, not having to listen, but simply I listen. I'm in the process of listening. So this translation would be I listen. I listen. And in our textbook, we have learned about the endings for AR verbs, just as we did with the endings with tener. And so for our endings here, this is an AR verb, and I'm talking about I do the action of something. So we've learned that if I'm communicating something in the present tense for an AR verb, my ending will be the letter O. So I cross off the AR and I put yo escucho. So this translation here, yo escucho, is I listen. So we have I like to listen, me gusta escuchar. We have I have to listen, yo tengo que escuchar. And I listen, yo escucho. Again, you will notice here that this is the only one that I have conjugated because we're simply saying I listen. So 3 different phrases using the same verb. The only time we conjugate this verb is when we are actually in the process of doing that thing, versus I like that thing or I have to do that thing. So I hope this has been helpful. You can post any comments, questions, or concerns below, and I hope that you have a lovely day.